Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy, and there's sobering news. His grade is D. With this guy, it's best to stay away. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
Honestly, he's more the type who talks big but doesn't really move ahead in his career. He likes telling people how things should be done and believes he's right, but he isn't willing to put in the hard work every day. You'll see him giving advice or acting bossy rather than making real progress.
Can he bounce back from failure?
He won't completely break down, but he also won't bounce back with energy or learn from his mistakes. When things go wrong, he tends to blame others or the situation instead of looking at himself. You might find him stubborn and slow to change his ways.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work will find him difficult to get along with. He often insists that things should be done his way and doesn't care much about other people's feelings. You'll notice that he can be blunt or even rude, which makes teamwork tough.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you succeed in your career, he is unlikely to feel proud or happy for you. Instead, he might feel threatened or irritated, especially if your achievements draw attention away from him. He isn't the type to support or lift up others, especially when it's not about him.
What if you start earning more than him?
Yes, most likely he will secretly resent you if you earn more than him. Instead of being proud, he may feel insulted or act cold towards you. His sense of pride will make it hard for him to accept your success without feeling upset.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He isn't someone who plans or keeps his spending in order. You might find him careless with money, spending when he feels like it without thinking much about saving or what's really needed. Don't expect him to keep proper budgets or stick to financial plans.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He is likely to pretend to be richer than he actually is. He wants to show that he knows best or is important, so he may spend money to look successful even when it's not true. He rarely thinks about long term consequences or saves for later.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is not someone who is open handed or kind, either with money or with his attitude. You may notice that he rarely does small acts of kindness, or helps out just to make you smile. He can be blunt and stubborn, which makes it hard for people around him to feel comfortable or loved.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be secretive and controlling about money. He doesn't easily share details or have open, healthy talks about finances. This can make you feel left out or unsure about where you both stand.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to think housework is only your job. You may find that he expects you to handle all the chores at home without offering much help or even showing appreciation. If you ask for support, he might ignore you, make excuses, or even say it's not his responsibility.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is very unlikely to truly help with chores or take care of babies like changing diapers. Instead, he may stand back and supervise, giving advice or telling you how things should be done rather than actually stepping in and doing the work himself. This can get frustrating as you'll end up doing most of the work alone.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He usually argues just to prove he's right, not to understand your side. Even when you share your feelings or concerns, he mainly wants to win the argument or show that his opinion is the best. This can make talking through problems very hard and leave you feeling alone in the relationship.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he is likely to say hurtful things or act in a way that feels harsh and disrespectful. He doesn't think much about others' feelings in those moments, and his words can be sharp or even mocking. He won't scream or lose control completely, but his calm tone can still sting because of what he says.
Does he have a bad temper?
He doesn't get angry very quickly, but when he does, his anger can come out in mean or cutting words rather than shouting. Some may ignore this because he doesn't explode easily, but that doesn't make it safe. His harshness and lack of care for your feelings are clear warning signs.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry or take responsibility for his actions. Most of the time, if something goes wrong, he will try to shift the blame onto you or someone else rather than admitting his own mistake. Even when it's clearly his fault, he may argue, make excuses, or act as if you are being unfair.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is likely to struggle with respecting your boundaries and may not take no seriously the first time. He's used to getting his way and can be pushy or dismissive if you set limits. You deserve someone who understands and honors your boundaries every single time.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is the kind of man who is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding your feelings or giving you space, he may act offended, sulk, or make comments that make you feel guilty. You deserve someone who values your comfort and listens to your needs, even in intimate moments.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, you need to be careful because he may not always handle private moments with the respect and care they deserve. If arguments happen or he feels challenged, he might use personal things you've shared against you, either by making sharp remarks, teasing, or trying to embarrass you. He focuses more on winning or showing he's right than protecting your feelings.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He's not the type who is openly chasing after other women all the time, but he also doesn't show strong loyalty or deep commitment in a relationship. If attention from other women comes his way, he may not turn it down or set clear boundaries, especially if it makes him feel important or admired. He's the kind who can be tempted because he puts himself first and may not think deeply about your feelings.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He's not someone who is extremely possessive or always suspicious, but he does want things his way and can get controlling in quieter ways. He may not blow up with jealousy, but he can become stubborn, make sharp comments, or try to manage what you do or who you spend time with. especially if he feels his place is threatened. You deserve freedom and trust, not subtle control or criticism.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what may look like a protective nature is more likely a sign of a controlling personality. He might say he's looking out for you, but in reality, he wants things done his way and expects you to follow his lead. Instead of making you feel cared for and free, his actions may leave you feeling restricted or small.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He isn't someone who naturally shares duties or steps in without being asked. This can leave you feeling burdened and alone, carrying almost all the responsibility for raising the kids.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm on the outside. But his words can be harsh and critical. He may not yell or shout, but instead use sharp or cutting remarks that make the children feel small or ashamed. This can make the kids feel unsupported and afraid to be honest about their mistakes.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to truly support your role as both a mother and your own person. He tends to see his own opinions and needs as more important, so he may not notice or appreciate your efforts at home or in other parts of your life. Over time, you could feel invisible or like your dreams don't matter.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might appear to support your career at first, but is very likely to change his expectations once you have a child. He could say he's proud of you now, but later on expect you to give up your job and handle everything at home by yourself. He may present this as what's best for the family, but really it fits with his pattern of putting his needs and views first.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's more likely to act polite on the surface rather than show real warmth to your parents. He may say the right things and behave in a way that looks respectful when they're around, but genuine affection or effort to build a close bond will be missing. You might notice he keeps a certain distance or only does what's required out of duty, not true care or eagerness. He will most likely expect your family to change for him rather than trying to adjust himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is more likely to make things worse rather than handle it calmly. He tends to be blunt and stubborn, so instead of smoothing things over, he might react with sharp words or insist things go his way. He won't easily bend, listen, or look for peace.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is very likely to expect you to act like a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives, even if he seems modern with you in private. He may not say it openly at first, but when the family gathers or there are guests, he'll want you to follow their customs, show extra respect, and do things the right way, his way. If you don't fit that traditional role, he may criticize or pressure you to change for the sake of family image.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is more likely to stay out of it or even quietly side with his family rather than support you. He doesn't enjoy getting involved in emotional matters and usually prefers not to challenge his own relatives, especially if it causes him discomfort or threatens his image. If you want true partnership and support, this pattern could cause lasting hurt.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He has strong opinions and likes things his way, but that doesn't make him a classic mummy's boy who blindly obeys his mother. Still, when a conflict happens between you and his mom, don't expect him to take your side openly or comfort you first. You might feel left alone to deal with his mother or find that he quietly supports her views.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share the details of your fights or private matters with his mother or sister. He may not see anything wrong with involving them, especially if he feels he is right or wants support for his side. You deserve a partner who keeps your personal life just between you and him.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Overall, based on all we know, this guy scores a D. I think it's just best to stay away. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out can feel draining and lonely. You will likely find yourself carrying most of the responsibilities from housework to parenting while he stands back or gives orders.